Welcome everybody to Power! Spinner Rack in the house. And today, I've got to tell you, what?
No, keep going. I'm fine. I'm just saying, are we power? We're actually in power? I got to take out Matt. I'm the Kanan of the show, right?
And I'm the Dre of the show, because
my God.
I'm the man from Dre. Okay, look. Off the chain episodes that we have to talk about. Okay?
Yes.
Okay? The basic setup is they are trying to take out Dre. Okay? The man, the up and coming, the new rookie, the superstar.
Well, I don't know how he turned this into a show about Dre, but when we're looking at this, things have already happened in the episode before this because they've taken out one of Jimenez.
They took out the
Diego. They took out Diego, so now they're like, what do? We still have on the other side.
Right, but that was part of the plan.
Remember, no. But
Dre had a plan with the sister to knock off her brother, right? And then he went together with
Ghost and Tommy's problems are still an issue.
Right, but the plan was they were then supposed to. Dre was supposed to take care of the Serbian for Tommy and Ghost.
Yeah, but
Kanan.
Kanan took away, got him out of the scene, so that somehow he's still alive. Ghost and Tommy are like, we still got all our troubles. And the other problem with the story, this is the problem I had, is with Proctor, because he was the ultimate lame.
What?
They're pressuring him. This is the worst acting from Turtle, but they're pressuring him. And his man from The Wire, his dude from The Wire is like, he's like saying, this is not happening.
His cousin.
I'm saying he's from The Wire. Everyone knows who he's from. His real respect is from The Wire. Even though he's a cop in The Wire, he's still from The Wire, so it don't matter. So when you look at this, he's saying, who can you trust? And he can't trust any of the feds. He can trust Ghost more than he can trust Tommy. And he can trust Angela a little more than Tommy.
Wait. How can he trust Ghost? How can he trust Tommy?
Because
Tommy is already.
Ghost didn't threaten him
with
his
mean?
life.
He's not telling him the truth. He's not taking him.
He's keeping him out of as much stuff as he can.
Look,
and no, you're talking about when he had The Wire?
Yeah, I'm talking
when you're talking about when Proctor had The Wire and came to the club. Said, hey, we're not in business now, but you can tell me anything you want. And goes like, I'll talk to you later. He had a wire and Ghost knew it.
Look, the point is, Proctor never knows what the hell Ghost is going to do.
He hasn't tried to kill him. That's the point. Tommy has tried to kill him.
But the question is, like his cousin said, who would he protect? And right now, like he said, Proctor said he's at the very bottom of that list. First is going to be Angela, his kids, his wife, Tommy.
Ghost is not going to put him in jail because that puts Ghost in jail.
Right, but you remember Proctor is also looking for his daughter. If he loses this case, then he doesn't become a lawyer anymore. Once they take away his license,
he can't give the daughter to the crackhead mother. It doesn't even work.
Well, the prosecutors are putting pressure on him. And he needs to make money.
The prosecutors, that's the thing. The prosecutors are the ones that are putting the most pressure, and they're going to sell him out as soon as they can.
Of course. So I'm just saying Proctor has to do what he has to do. I understand Proctor. I totally understand Proctor. You're totally off base, bro.
Wait. Let's not get into arguing first.
Okay.
I'm saying my issue with him is that his cousin try to basically scale it out from who best to worst. So and as the audience member, we do the same thing. So I'm like, who's the best? The worst for him are the feds, because the feds don't care about him at all.
The worst for them is Tommy. Tommy's already killed somebody.
Tommy at least has a reason not to do it. He's not going to, as long as it's in his interest, he's not going to do it. But they don't care about him. They've been pushing him to say, you're not going to get your license at all. And they throw it away again once they get what they wanted. So you have that first part.
Right.
Then you have the next person you have is Tommy, who said been threatening his life over and over again. Mm-hmm. Then you have Angela, who's only jabbed him with a blunt sword. She hasn't really pushed him that hard and hasn't really pressured him.
Right.
And then you have Ghost, who's never put him in a place, had him deal with subject matter that's tough, but never put him in the place of losing his license, except for, even when he was in a case with Ghost, he got taken off the case.
Okay, I'm not going to disagree. The most sympathetic he is to the person that he trusts, if there's a level of trust, is Ghost. But Ghost is always pushing people away. And with this, it's not just here. And I think the way you just brought it up, yes. But he is desperate. And so, Proctor, I totally understand what you're going, okay? Look, I don't trust Ghost at all. Definitely don't trust Angela. And Tommy, Hells to the no. And though he's one of my favorite characters.
Tommy
hell
hasn't
to the
sold
no.
out Tommy.
He came and killed that guy in his house, therefore making him an accessory to murder. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Tommy.
Tommy's been reckless, and Ghost has been carrying him for all this time.
But I'm saying in terms of
He
profit.
should have killed him, but that's what I'm saying. He has
Oh,
some
no. We got to talk about that. Well, who he should have killed. So that is one of the big things that was happening. One of the big takeaways. Another takeaway is Terry, the lawyer who they're depending on.
He's been gone. He's out of the show. We're expecting you guys to where we're at. We're not gonna go back and backtrack 3 or 4 episodes. We have to go to what we're at now.
Okay.
Diego is dead. Proctor's struggling with his money. Ghost is in a good place with Tate because he has him. He has him by the short and curlies, right?
Now the question is, they're under the gun. Tasha's under the gun because they found the gun. The bullets matched, right, to the gun that belonged to her.
The cheesiest reason is that there's some paperwork that Angela didn't somehow find when she buried it.
She buried it,
she didn't bury it because they needed a plot line.
So they found the paperwork that showed the bullets, the gun that Tasha owned matches the bullets that killed Ray Ray, right? They know that she supposedly had it in the safe. They know that, and she's claiming she has a witness who saw that it was in the safe. Now the question is, we were thrown off by who they decided to pin the blame on. We were looking at Dre, but it ended up not being Dre. It ended up being Kanan. The shocker of shockers. The web that Tasha wailed, we did not see coming. I mean,
you talking about the ending part?
Yeah.
Well, you're going right to the meat of it.
You just said we're going straight to the meat.
No, I mean the episode. We were dealing with them trying to figure out how to deal with the Serbians.
Right.
Proctor dealing with this, and Ghost trying to, Proctor going to Ghost. But at this point, who's the name? The episode is mostly Tariq and Kanan going around, and basically Tariq learning the ropes from the worst person alive, the guy who kidnapped him. Let's not forget that.
Kidnapped him, drugged him, brainwashed him.
Yes.
To protect and
led him to Ray Ray. Led him to
Ray Ray, his cousin.
What's the girl? The cop.
I forgot her name, man.
So it's like you have all this thing that Kanan set him up to basically put him in harm's way. This is not a paying dues situation. This is him being a lame, sitting around drinking syrup and being knocked out for all that time, and he's now sitting with him. And they have some moments where he has to sell some drugs and he gets beat for money, and then he pulls a gun out on some kids. So they're showing you maybe he has some things for it. Then he somehow knows he knows Italian. He's
taking Italian in his private
school.
He's
not to know every word like that, like just be able to speak it fluently. They got to set that up.
But they said it. They set it up earlier when they said, "What classes are you taking?" And he said Italian. Yes,
that is the lamest. It's lame. You're the one who cut me when we talked about it. Remember how he cut me so deep, pointing out the holes in the story? So sometimes I got to point those things back. The stuff that he likes, you got to point out the holes too.
You're wrong. Listen. All right. So we see the relationship. There is a close relationship between like a mentor-mentee or father-son relationship between Kanan and...
Tasha already talked about that, so let's not deal with that anymore. She already squelched that. Between
Kanan and Tariq. And so, you see, Tariq, I guess, is told by his mother, that Kanan killed his own son. If we all remember back to the first season, the son, Kanan's son, what was his name again?
Sean.
Sean
was going to take, somehow in some crazy world, Sean was going to take Tasha, Tariq, and Raina, and they were going to go off and have a family in some bunker. Like, how are they going to do this?
Well, he didn't realize he was just the payback guy, He was a get back guy. Mm-hmm. That's all he was, I'm trying to say, because he found out about him and Angela. But we digress. So what happens here is that, he asks Kanan straight up, "Yo, dude, you killed Sean?" And Sean, he looked up to Sean. Sean was like to him, because remember, his father is always being Ghost. No one knows his plan. No one knows what he's doing. He's always working. But Sean was always there. He was there protecting them, taking them to places, taking them to work, to school. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, "Yeah, I killed Sean." And he's like, "Yo, he wasn't built like us," and stuff like that.
He kept trying to add more. It's like, well, I didn't take no blood tests. And that plays to everybody online. They're just like, "Oh, yeah, he said no blood test. You got to take a blood test."
But he didn't take no blood test.
Come on, how many fathers take a blood test immediately after without getting yelled at by the wife and/or baby's mother? What? You don't believe this? Get out of here!
You should have gone just to a snip and then take it to the DNA spread. But hey, everybody does their own thing. So
you gotta no hospital is gonna allow you to take some blood and make sure that what they will do is when you're having multiple babies in the same hospital and having at the same time, they'll say, "Oh, he's over in the other ward because he's having you haven't heard that?"
Clearly not me. You clearly have you been involved in something like that?
No, I have not.
Okay, how do you know?
I've heard.
Oh wow, must be happening quite a bit.
Not for me, but for other people maybe. You're trying to pin something on me. Can't pin nothing on me. Clean, baby. This is like, what's the name? Father MC. I take care of my kids, and then Christine Whitman knocked in his door. Deadbeat dad. So anyway, so this has been leading up. Tasha has a moment with the son. Tariq has been terrible
Difficult,
to his parents.
horrible.
And
he's a sucker.
But the thing is that this is set up because people believe that, all right, this is a situation like a parent tells a kid not to smoke, and then they see him smoking. But the whole point is that if you respect your parents, right? And that's obviously smoking in comparison to selling drugs, the drug industry, all that stuff, is way heavier. But having this weight on this is him kind of sidelining the fact that his involvement past escaping Kanan led to Raina's death. Because he ran away and Raina went there. And as a sibling, outside of you getting caught for something, when you put someone in harm's way, like for death, that's a different thing. If you see someone, steal a library book, you set them up and you run away and then they get caught, that's a different thing. But you see someone, that they're going to kill him, you're going to hide. That's what he did. He's not facing that.
Wait. He was running away. He didn't realize his sister would go there.
Saw.
Yeah, but it's too late. He didn't realize his sister would go there.
He could say, hey, no, I'm here. Yeah. I'm here.
So he thought anybody would have thought, no one thought Ray Ray would just automatically kill the girl. So I can't blame him for staying hidden. That you cannot. He
can't leave them with ththese killers. He knows that they're grime balls.
Okay, well look.
And he's a policeman. He's been checking them at the school. These guys, what they were doing to the woman. Why is he gonna believe that? Okay, they have their honor among not killing kids. Like, oh no, they had some degree. You already saw the woman. He was like saying they just wanted to get in and steal the woman's stuff, and they were going further. So that's why I say all bets are off once he broke into the woman's house. I'm not gonna believe. I was like, Raina's in trouble. This even as a sibling.
But he's a kid, and probably he didn't have that particular idea. Look, we're not going to rehash what it is, because once again, you're wrong on that. But
you can keep saying that.
If you say it enough times, like they didn't advertise it,
people
believe it. Okay.
Okay.
If I say enough times.
So at this point, this camaraderie is going on between them, even though Tariq is kind of issue. But this is one of the tricks that they've done in the show before, because now Ghost is in a place who's like, I am not in a place to kill Kanan, because Kanan saved Tariq. We were stuck in the place, and now we were joined as friends. So it's like, yeah, I had to get rid of him, but I'm not really trying to kill him again. I really want to push him out of the business like we did before. I'm not interested in killing him because he did save my son. So, and Tasha's like, no, and that's why all the people online are like, why is she going crazy? So because she knows once they're back together, Kanan isn't interested in a basic, like having a club. He is interested in the ganging, banging, killing, wars. All that stuff is enjoyable to him. We saw him as he's building the empire. He's taking people out, using people against each other. He's a master manipulator. So he's not going to be interested in calming down. And that's what you have to remember, that Ghost, what Ghost gave Tasha was an escape, but still have a portion of the life, because she likes laundering money, but she's not interested.
She likes some money from the laundering.
But no, she did it on her own with Tommy.
But they had to move the weight. I don't think any drug dealer likes laundering money or selling drugs. They like the money that they get from it, and these are the ways they have to do it.
You're turning it into, this is the hard way out.
Not the hard way. I'm not saying it's the hard way.
They could go get a 9-to-5 job if you're saying that.
But you're not going to be living on the Upper East Side making millions.
You're being. There's no reason. Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't say I hate selling drugs, but I love money. That's ridiculous. Either you.
No, you don't have to love selling drugs. Just
We
like
don't know
you
that they don't know. She just doesn't like. She likes living in the house. She had no problem putting. That's what Keisha said. Keisha said you laundered money to me and didn't say anything about it. It wasn't about they had to do this. She saw an opening and she used it.
They
And
have
now
to do- they're trying to figure
stop
out.
saying they did not have
look,
to do that.
once
to a
again, we're
friend.
gonna have to with a friend. All right, probably a friend, but I'm
He
saying
didn't have to do. You can't keep apologizing for these drug dealers, like saying, "Oh, they had there's a level of the part of the life that she was saying she didn't want this to end with ghosts.
Right.
She was so that part
because they have a
wasn't-
good thing going on.
yeah. So this you going into this thing and she not wanting to like she had no problem with the
That's the
selling
difference.
the
No
drugs.
problem is it? But it's not like she likes. Yo, I like.
No,
selling
you're
drugs.
adding your own thing. I'm saying look at if we go for the basic
Okay,
logic.
So we got the logic. I got it.
No, you
know
don't
what I'm
got
trying
the
to say.
logic.
Yeah, I got it. So
You do not got it.
So,
Lies. He lies.
So
This
as
is
you-
what I'm saying. Tasha is okay with the life, not okay with the ganging and the banging part of the life. That thing of being at war
That's
with
Tommy.
people. Tommy is in love with that. Ghost is not with it. That's why they had to separate because it's like we gotta keep the business small and not have to deal with the criminal part of just taking out people because that's gonna lead. The body's gonna start leading back, which keeps leading back to Tommy because it keeps killing.
and leads back to Ghost.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why.
So are we finally gonna get into what happened?
So we have a classic scene. They get stopped by the police.
Whoop whoop.
Now, what we don't know is that this crossing of Tasha, going to Tasha and Ghost, arguing about what to do. So we don't know these two scenes are connected. So it's a really nice dynamic of cutting to them arguing like, what are we gonna do? And what's going on is happening right now.
So they're arguing because Ghost is trying to figure out where the hell is his son. You know what I'm trying to say? And she says he's with Kanan. So we flash back, and there he's in the car. He's been with Kanan the whole day. You know, basically
I
learning
don't
the
know if
ropes.
it's a flashback, but I think it's sort of like
A cut. Not a flashback, a cut. So, and she starts saying, "Well, we got to take care of the problem."
Yes.
Meaning
And
the
then
whole thing with the gun. And he's like, "What?"
So
And
then
then-
he's like, right when the police pull him over, Ghost goes into the safe and he's like, "Where's the gun?" And then I'm like, would someone, is the gun burned? Did they get rid of it? So they're in the car, and we don't know that moment between, they've jumped the action, so we don't know that they put together a plan. So they're sitting out there, and what she said of blaming it on Kanan is actually going to happen.
Right.
So when they say,
So,
I wasn't kidnapped, it's like, yeah, you reported kidnapped. Well, now we know everything's going to happen, so everything's on Tariq to really sell this.
So when they get into the car, before they start their little road trip together, we see Kanan putting guns and drugs in the back of the trunk.
I don't know if he did that.
Yeah, they show us the scene where he opens the trunk and he puts something in the trunk.
But he
When
doesn't.
they go-
Are you saying Tariq?
No, not Tariq.
Because
Kanan.
there's nothing when the
Kanan.
police come.
Right,
and
but
there's
by
no
that time,
drugs.
when he comes back, because remember, he has him working on the corner, basically selling the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And what Tariq ends up doing is that he gets these little hustlers to start selling for him, and they trick him and they beat him with fake money,
Yeah,
and so he has to
so
come
they
back
fake
with a gun and take all their money back. So. The question is, what was Kanan doing at that time? Kanan was doing other things while Tariq was out on the street, right? So he had something in his trunk. So we all assume.
You're saying that the MacGuffin was that there was already something in his trunk,
Right.
But and now at this point,
So when the
cops come, we think that there's two plot lines going on,
Right.
And you're saying that since they had something in the trunk, we think that they're going to catch whatever he had in the trunk.
Exactly. So, but he says in the scene that the cops say, "Can we take a look at your trunk?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. There's nothing there." He's like, "Yo, there's nothing in the trunk." So, all of a sudden, the cops go back there. They take a look, and what do they find? They find the gun that was used to kill Ray Ray. We all know Tariq killed, and the gun that has the ballistics tied back, and they're trying to blame. They think it's Ghost that killed Ray Ray, but Tasha's.
So
trying
the cops want Ghost to be the guy.
Right. So
you don't have to roll your eyes every time I just interject something.
I
You do
interject?
like this.
I interject.
He just did it.
Now I'm doing it. 'Cause I'm like, look. So what happens is that the cops come back, and you can take it up from there, bro. I just want to hear the gunshot. I'm gonna read the gunshot signs.
So,
Oh, it didn't start
so
yet.
at this point, they're both outside the car. Tariq says what he says. We cut back to Tasha's telling what's going to happen. Tariq does say he was kidnapped and he was drugged, and then they separate him and they put him in the back of the police car. And obviously, if you understand, when they close the cop car, they have to open it. It has a child lock on it.
Right.
You know, that's even for criminals. So then 2 seconds after that, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen.
Because they've been foreshadowing it for quite a while. What
no, we don't know what's going to. We know that Kanan's not going to. I think Kanan's going to get out free. So what happens is he yanks a gun, he shoots or kills a cop,
boom,
and he starts firing back. Now
there are 4 cops,
and that's the ridiculous part. So it's like saying I'm watching it. Well, everyone's watching it, like obviously wanting Kanan to survive, but he takes a couple shots. Then he starts taking out people, like bang, bang on both sides, and then he walks up. He's on top of the cop and near the back seat. Tariq is in there, freaked out. Next thing you know, puts the gun over to the cop, kills him on the floor, turns over, sees someone scared like Mario is right now. He sees them all freaked out, and he's like, just walks to the other car to drive. But he's taking some body shots right to the stomach. And he drives, and 2 seconds later, he crashes.
We think he's going to get away, and then instead of getting away, he crashes.
Once he starts coughing, we know that he's not going to make it. So it's kind of having the superhero moment for Kanan kind of was okay. I really wanted him to go to jail. I didn't want to have this big
But he's been
superhero
foreshadowing for so long, I'm not going back to jail. I'm not going.
So.
So we knew that was going to happen. Either he was going to live or he was going to escape. But he was never going back to jail, you know?
So at that
Are you
point,
sad that he died?
No, I thought he had to die.
Because all of a sudden you just got all quiet.
No, I was
and
saying.
contemplative. God damn it was good he got shot and dead.
I thought he had to die because he set up a lot of things, like with the Serbians, setting up with the Italians. So he set a lot of things in motion that
2-bit.
Basically to take over the whole thing, and the fans are ready to jump watching the show and that's the thing, a lot of people argue that, okay, Ghost isn't the hero, so Kanan's a tragic. I think it's on Casino for Life. He talks about that. He says that, and I would say, you have to remember that, just like watching a gangster film, like Vito Corleone and Michael Corleone, they are the protagonists of the movie.
Yes.
It doesn't have anything to do. The antagonist, the people they're fighting against, doesn't play to hero or villain. That's the same thing of watching, I think, The Player, when you're watching a character and they do some seedy stuff, any sort of thing where you say the villain is the lead, that's just the protagonist. It has nothing to do with hero or villain. You're watching a story of a gangster. Obviously, the gangster motif is that they die at the end, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to do that. You're watching Michael Corleone come into power. That's the story. It doesn't matter who he kills. Doesn't matter, what happens. And this is what you have to remember: is Ghost's story, and they use Ghost because you think Ghost is going to be the one to kill Kanan, but they already had a big fight, so they could trick us. And they've done that a couple of times where we think Ghost is going to do something, and they pull a rug out. And I didn't even think about the fact that he had something in the trunk. So that's sort of like a double MacGuffin, that would be a Hitchcock term to say we're following the money, saying there's something in the car. We know something's there, but then we get tricked because we're like, oh, where's that gun? That's the thing we should have been watching. So,
yeah, but
it's a good twist.
It was a good twist. But, I got to say, the reaction to this, I think Kanan shouldn't have died. Not
Why
now.
Why do you say that?
Because the fight scene, that should have been happening a couple of months. There was too many things set up. The whole setup with the Italians.
For him to take over everything.
Right, but I'm just saying now, but he, in setting up the takeover for himself, he showed total mistrust with the others. So the whole thing with Tommy, with the Italians, he practically destroyed that relationship. So Tommy can't go back there. So now what's going to happen with the Italians? This is all a setup to get his stuff done. The same thing goes with the Serbians. He totally, he killed Diego and took the claim for him instead of being Tommy and Ghost. So now the Serbians don't really want to deal with Tommy and Ghost. They want to kill Tommy anyways. And so they're like, all right, probably we'll deal with you. So who's going to take over that? So that,
the money has to go through Ghost.
It still has to go through somebody.
And then we had another
And then you have the thing with Dre, where
they pin Diego.
They try to pin Diego on Dre. But that's not going to work.
Why not?
Because we know Dre killed Diego on his sister's order. Now, if it comes out that she can't take the heat that he did, it's publicized now.
The problem with Dre is that he already knows that Kanan did it. He can't then try to connect Kanan and Ghost because this is someone that, there's too many degrees away. The closest degree is Kanan, and they've been partners. So if any partnership between Ghost and Kanan is too far gone, no one in public knows that they've been working together. So there's no legal ramification for Ghost, killing Diego.
There isn't, but I'm saying if he's getting stressed by his Serbian contacts, who are you going to work with? The Serbians can just cut him off.
They can try, but they know that the big money is now. The thing is that everything that Kanan had was stolen.
Right.
Everything he had, everything he set up.
But look,
was through Tommy.
I got that, but I'm saying.
So all of that same stuff is through them.
The Serbians were going to kill Tommy because he was $2 million short, right? And Ghost and Kanan were all going to be part of that. Now, okay, the fact that he's going to kill you, even though you're making money for him, and he knows that they got hit by Dre and his crew, why are you going to do that? He wants to he doesn't like Tommy. He doesn't want to deal with Tommy.
I know, he doesn't like Tommy.
The same
he
thing.
Hates him. But so he's in a place now he has to deal with them. The thing was, who knows, was he going to stick with Kanan? Because he didn't like those two guys. He was like saying, yeah, you guys are going to take them out.
But Kanan was getting things done.
But that's the thing.
Why.
The thing is, like, he can, just like you said to your, Dre moving up, if we can get rid of the two bodies that were working with Kanan, we can get rid of Kanan. We don't need any of these guys. Unless they know that they need it. He wanted money, they got paid back. They wanted Diego dead, he's dead. So everything is going along how they think they want it. Why wouldn't he then take out Kanan? You're saying a little bit there's no...
Because the way the show, like you said before, if they have to present something in the show for us to see what else is going to happen, right? If Kanan is the one who's going to be taking over the Connect, right? Mm-hmm. That's the Connect, and then he goes out of the picture, so it goes back to Tommy and
it does.
And
that's the Serbian is now. The Serbians are now in a place. The Serbians are now in a place where
they're forced to work with them.
And that's the thing. They're in the wrong. They're in the bad place because the person that they wanted to work with is now gone. But he said to him, "You're in with them." Now all he did was cut a side deal. He told him when he saw Kanan, he's like, "I don't like you, and now you're with them." So then giving him this small little olive branch.
But that was at the beginning. At the very end, when he told him what happened with
but that's, come on.
It makes a big difference. Look,
it doesn't make a big difference. But someone you're telling, that's the thing is like, all right, you hate me, and say you hate me and the people I work with, right? And then, no, you hate the people I work with, and I come in, he's like, I'm mad at you. I just come to you and say, they're assholes, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll side with you. That's what it is.
But then he shows, look at what I did. This is what I did for you.
Because he did it with Ghost. Ghost was too high profile to do it, and he just got a hitter. That's not a. If you're hitter saying, you're saying, all right, I'm a gooder, I'm a
But he's not
shooter.
telling them. He's saying, I'm the one that did it. I'm the one.
Because he gave the thing with the stuff that Ghost set up with Dre. Like, Kanan couldn't be in that place to do any of that stuff if Ghost doesn't say, can you get this person here?
Okay.
Yes, right, that open area, shot him, no defense, all that happened.
So we got to disagree again.
We disagree about what?
Because you're on the wrong track.
No, I'm not. I'm saying to you that if Ghost is still involved, he didn't, it's not like, Kanan went and killed Diego on a whim, just found him and killed him. He didn't do none of the legwork.
He was working with Dre to do that. They were supposed to help each other.
And Ghost. Ghost is the one that talked to. He wasn't working with. He
Right,
wasn't working with Dre. He's
it.
working with Ghost. Ghost is the one who talked to Dre to get them in that place. And then the thing is, like, you can't. He's taking credit for something that.
And then he double crossed Dre.
I'm saying to you that at the same time, he said the part about what's the name, like them talking about killing the Serbians, but the kill for Diego is all the group portion. The thing is what Ghost wanted. Yes, you can say that, but Tommy isn't in on that. So it's like, at the same time, they probably would have to figure something out.
So there's one, bro, glad you brought up Tommy. There's one great scene at the very end where they go to the morgue. Why they?
It's not a great scene. It's not
Hold
a great
on.
scene.
It is a great scene because it informs a lot of things. It informs
doesn't inform anything.
It informs the relationship between Tommy and Ghost.
No,
so they go to talk about to I guess identify the body or see the body of Kanan. And Tommy is like, yo, you were cold, basically. And he's like, yo, how many people are you going to kill? He said, I didn't even see it coming. And the reason is that once again, Ghost is always in his own little world, doing his own thing, making his own moves, and he's like,
It's something that he can
he's
easily
like,
find out by asking Tasha.
yeah, but he's like,
That's some bull.
because he's saying, yo, Ghost is saying it's Tasha that did it. It was all Tasha. And
No,
Tommy,
he did not
and
say that.
Yeah, he said
that you don't think I did this. Kanan just saved Tariq. Like, this wasn't me. And he's like saying, I can't believe you. Like,
and then he starts listening.
He saved what's the name when he got rid of the body with Holly. He helped him out with Holly. Yeah. How many people has Tommy killed? And now we're gonna turn around and listen to him say, I can't believe you. I was like, I can't believe you killed Holly. I can't
Holly
believe
was off the. Remember, Ghost wanted her out of the way from the longest time. You know that. So that's why
Ghost didn't kill her.
Holly being Tommy's redheaded girlfriend that he killed. Okay.
Yes. But Ghost didn't kill her. Tommy killed her. Tommy killed the federal agent with the tape in Proctor's house, making things worse for what's her name.
But he wanted her out of the way. Okay, we all know that.
He did, but he didn't. He knew it was his girlfriend.
So going back to the scene where Tommy starts ticking off all the names of all the compatriots that they start off with, who are all part of the crew, and they're all gone. And he's saying, that Ghost took them out one time or another.
And how many times should Tommy been one of those guys that he taken out, and he didn't?
And Tommy said it's just us two, bro.
And how many times?
How long before he's gone?
How many? We've been watching 5 or 6 episodes. They've been together for too long, and Tommy's been too buck wild, and him and Tasha have still been like Uncle Tommy. Bring him into the house, all that stuff.
How much longer before he becomes a liability?
Come on, it's just dialogue. It's just some. When you start defending like lines that carry through, they're sitting in because he knows I'm right on this. They're like the person who kidnapped your kid. They don't bring you in to identify the body. They don't let you go to the morgue. Ghost has no connections with the morgue. There's no thing of this is the guy who they.
It was a great scene.
The person is already said, yes, he was with this person. They said that he's not blood relatives. Tommy is definitely not going to be there to identify the body. But they want to have this moment between Ghost and what's the name, and they can have Ghost and where people don't believe that 50's dead and all this other stuff. And it's like, it would have been a good scene. There's no way you could do it. They only can have Ghost and Tommy together. They can't have them and Kanan because the way they set it up, they didn't set the crescendo between Ghost or Tommy and having Tommy having the shoes. Okay. That was taken away from them because they tricked us and a twist worked. But now they put it back the way they wanted to so they can have them at the morgue. You know that it's ridiculous.
I have to disagree. But the question is, the question is, does this set up now a Tommy Ghost debacle?
No, they want more. They're trying to create some. They showed in the trailer for the next episode that, all right, the other problem is that Ghost brought up something this episode that's very important. That I understand that Tommy has no family. And all right, since this we're going to go personal, right? We're going to go personal with this.
Okay, mano a mano.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying like this. I'm going to mention, God rest his soul. My stepfather, he was separated from his family for umpteen years until he moved back to, Georgia and ran into someone that said, you look like somebody in my family. And then they met up, and 2 seconds later, they had a whole family reunion for my stepfather. Now, for my was his name, Benny Wesley Warren, when he was with my family, he was totally loaned out. He was with the elders of my family. They worked on sewing equipment. They worked on cars. He was with my uncles as one of their brothers. And he watched cartoons with us. He was so loaned out, I didn't even know he was my mother's boyfriend, right? So when I found out when he moved to Harlem, Wes is there. That's what Wes is. He's my mother's boyfriend, right? There's a big, he sort of the glue to our family, even though not a blood relative. He sort of kept things together. And at the same time, when he met his family, he was like from the West. There's a picture of him after all this family reunion. He's sitting at the chair chilling, not talking. And I'm like, he's still the same person. He didn't find people and decide, I don't need these guys anymore. He had 2 sets of families. And what hasn't happened in here is that Tommy says, go, and I said all that to say, Ghost said, "We're your family,"
Right.
meaning Tasha, him, Tariq, even
Lala.
Raina. They're in he's at the funeral at the front line with the rest of them, and Tariq is, and then no, not Tariq, and Teresi is bringing them in, but trying to, get his trust on all the bad stuff, and he knows that you can't trust someone that just got out of jail. You can't show him all the business.
Out of the blue. But he's desperate for somebody to be there to connect with him. He didn't have it with his mother.
People believe the blood relative trumps the non-blood relative. So when you find your blood relative, and I'm saying in my family, my great grandmother, she was not my blood relative, and she was, basically, she did have three parents. I have my father, have my mother, and I have my great grandmother. Like, there's no way, and that causes a wedge between, family members, and even to say my grandmother. It causes a wedge through them, but it's like, this person has been in your life and been for you all this time. You can say Ghost has had his ways, but Tasha, Tariq, that's the person you're bringing up, like, sort of shun all of that and just like, I'm going to sideline this so I can go on car rides with my father. It takes time. But it's a TV show and everything gets accelerated. So I think it should have been a way where they could try to gather them together so you can get, Mercedes Rule in there to meet Ghost.
Who's excellent in the show.
They might have been doing it fun.
She's excellent.
So
she's Tommy's father's wife.
Yeah, I mean, she's been killing it for years.
She's killing it in this role. I like it.
So yeah,
I saw her and said, "Wow, she knows, she has it down pat."
Yeah, it's harder because that's when the thing that we want. I think that another segue, The Sopranos gave us was Tony Soprano's mother. She was the most classic character that had no physical power, as basically an invalid, and had the most power in the show. And when you're able to create something like that in a character, it's going to be tough when this thing plays out.
Especially a character who can control more powerful characters.
Yes.
And they feel beholden either by societal bonds, familial bonds, or they've just been browbeaten to death.
That's what I wish with The Sopranos they were able to do with Carmela, where she started to gain the power like the way Tony's mother was, but every time Tony was hurt, she'd have nothing. Like, they'd have no money, and it was just like, man, they should they never do that. They do it with the sons. The sons always come up and become the guy, but they never do it with the wives, where the wives sort of know how to manipulate guys into doing different things. And I think that would be fun, the same way, it was a tough person to lose in The Sopranos. So in this part, we have Mercedes Rule. We all want to see more of her. That's what makes the whole Teresi part, and even any of the Italians, she's the best part of that whole subplot. So.
I mean, the fact that she's constantly saying, is this what you're supposed to do? Is this who you really are? I also like the scene when they told Tommy to bring his significant other, and they went to go see Lala. Keisha.
Don't say Lala.
Sorry. And the way they approached her, like, whoa, this is your girl. And I thought it was a pretty poignant scene. She played her role really well, and how they, basically saying, this is a life that when you get with a guy like this, this is a particular life. And he's like, this is my ride or die, basically.
It was good to play that, because then Tasha comes, not necessarily Tommy, and says, you got to do this. You got to do this. He's like, what? What? And she's like, no. But then, of course, she does it. But it's an important note that she said, because they're asking a lot of her, and she wasn't in the life.
Right.
So.
But when Mercedes Rule said that, the type of man that we're with, that was pretty good. And I thought Lala Anthony did pretty good there. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's tough because they have some sort of weird stuff, either her acting or something around her eyes to make her look like she's crying. Because you look at the Drake video and you look around her eyes, it's just like they're like bright as the lights that are on us now. But then when you see her in that, they're doing something to sort of give you, like, I guess some more of the acting. It's something they're doing with her eyes that makes you seem like she's gonna cry in every scene, and it's not pulling us to see like she comes in a room and you're just like, whoa, she's a knockout. That sort of feel. I mean, she is, but I mean, if you look at it, I'm just wondering, because I've seen her on other shows and on MTV, and it's just like, But I don't know if that hurts her style of acting, because I'd really like to get to, since she is basically playing the girlfriend she's not doing, they don't need to have her always being sort of sad, because she should just be having fun right now.
Right, but she's been used. But I think this is where the key thing is whether this relationship is actually going to last with Tommy. You know, with the stresses of Ghost, the stresses of Teresi.
He wants to do it like he took money from Tommy. You don't even know where the money come from. The money from Kanan that Tommy took was from his own people. His own people.
I know.
Come on. And that's the person he wants. He's worried about defending.
So what do you think of the episode, bro? Let's get down to it. What rating do you?
It ended good, but I'm worried about the Proctor stuff, because at the end, Proctor, after all this, we brought up the Proctor in the beginning of all this mess we've been talking about. Proctor is like, he comes in there and he's like, and no, because they have a moment where they were after the body, Angela comes with a box and she's like, here, our thing didn't turn up anything, right. And she walks around with a smirk, and they're gonna turn Angela's now the big bad guy. It's like, we got to get Angela Valdez, and it's just like, and then I don't know what the name of the black woman that's in there. She gives the worst facial expressions ever. Oh, what? Like, you've been after Angela all this time. Of course, he's just throwing you a bone because you want to take it. You've been wanting to take Angela all this time, so of course you're gonna.
Well, they convinced her to go after Angela, but they got to have proof, and the problem is it's been hard getting a lot of proof.
What's he gonna do? He won't get rid of his cousin. Proctor's cousin said, "Throw away this computer. It's not going to do any good for you." And he's right. All it's going to be, he's an accessory, and then he has to go on witness protection, and he's not built for that.
It's a new life. So overall, the episode was entertaining. But the problem is that it opened up a whole bunch of holes that we.
I don't know if it's holes.
Well, what are you talking about?
I don't think the stuff that I think that makes it harder for the Serbians to do what they want to do, which was cut Ghost and Tommy out. It works best for the show because now they have to work with Tommy or Ghost, and they have to deal with them now.
And the Italians, they keep bringing back the Italians. So either the Italians are going to do something with either Teresi or Tommy, or they're not going to be out. I mean, if you don't bring them, what's the point of bringing them into the show?
Because Tommy needs a new crew, he needs a new setup, and all.
But they don't trust him. The Serbians don't trust him. Look,
he needs a new crew, or else he doesn't have a crew at all. What's his crew? All his crew is the people with Dre. He don't have anything.
I've been saying that for the longest. Dre took over his organization.
That's the craziest part of the show.
The man is hot.
He's not. Okay, I can't even do it. What? Now how's he slither out of this? Because that's what he does. He's going to slither out of it. You know, he had one good scene with Ghost. He had one good scene with Ghost where he said he pushed Ghost back, like not physically, but he said, you can't do nothing to me.
He don't like the young bucks. He don't like people coming up and bringing down.
Who?
You've been an anti Dre.
I like when he was on, but then that's the thing. People brought up what happened to his sister. Remember his sister that Kanan was threatening? Remember he had the sister up or the daughter?
The daughter.
Where's the daughter?
Yo, he moved on. He's a player, baby.
Oh my God!
Probably moved to the Florida.
I think the craziest them saying that Kanan was at the thing for Raina. That is the craziest part of them saying to the courts. Yeah, he was at that thing with I don't know. There should be some video on that. Did they doctor the videotape?
All right, guys. Well, as usual, entertaining and informative discussion. Check it out. Tell us what you think. And especially, my theories, do you believe what I'm saying about the show? And you can look at his stuff too. Spirak, out.